You may have heard this statement before and considered whether or not it is right. Well, it is, and today I'll tell you how. As humans, we need oxygen, and the molecule that binds to oxygen is called hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is housed in cells called red blood cells. Red blood cells are usually nice and round, just like this. People who have the genotype AA produce red blood cells that look like this. However, people who have the genotype AS may produce some red blood cells that look like this, sickle shaped. They do not produce so many sickle shaped red blood cells, so they do not suffer from anemia like those who are SS. However, the body doesn't like sickle shaped red blood cells, and so it tends to get rid of it. When mosquito carrying a malaria parasite bites a person with AA genotype, the parasite heads for the red blood cell. The parasite goes there, infects a red blood cell, divides, and produces a sticky substance that enables the infection to transfer from one red blood cell to another easily. However, for someone with an AS genotype, once the parasite infects the red blood cell, the body's mechanism, which is already used to discarding sickle-shaped red blood cell, immediately discards that red blood cell, preventing infection of other red blood cells. This greatly reduces the parasite load and therefore reduces severity of illness. This does not mean that people with AS genotype never have malaria. They do. However, they have less severe cases and the frequency of occurrence is a lot lower for them compared to those with AA genotype. This is also the reason why there is a higher prevalence of sickle cell disease in places where there is high malaria, such as sub-Saharan Africa. You see, many years ago, malaria was such a high cause of death, and so our bodies actually evolved to be able to produce sickle-shaped red blood cells so that they could fight the malaria parasite more. However, this benefit is only for those with AS genotype. People with SS genotype do not want to have malaria because they are already anemic, and malaria is just going to be another illness that makes their lives even more difficult.